Great, so we're back in our play space now and ready to make our first pen and paper sketch mock-up version for our virtual reality Verbo app. All right, so in considering what Verbo does, what it's trying to do, it's trying to make it convenient and easy for people to find a cool location to visit while they're on vacation, on a cool trip, right? So one thought that I had is like, what if when you first get into the app, if there was like a globe right in front of you, you can kind of see, the whole world is at your fingertips, and you can access anywhere, and you could either grab and twist the globe, and then find your location and stick a pin on it. That could be fun. Or what would be interesting is if you actually used like voice recognition and be like, "Hey Siri, take me to Tokyo, Japan," and then the globe would, revolve around and then stick that pin down for you, and that'd be pretty cool too. Um, what I might be interested in seeing after that is if a window were to pop up that has maybe a window could pop up and it has a map then of the city with kind of like the city boundaries, right? So you have your location kind of picked. Then in the Verbo app, kind of what the flow suggests is after you have input your location, it always asks you for dates. So there could be a little piece right here for managing your dates, your start date and your finish date. Maybe you could select some dates manually like that. Then what would be cool is as you pick your dates, all of a sudden a couple available units start popping up here on your city map. There probably need to be like a little indicator your first time in that like, hey, check it out, this thing's responsive. That'd be interesting. Then of course there's other information that you need to input, right? You need to input, let's pick a more visible color. You need to input, you need to input kind of like well, I have these amenities that I must have. Verbo also has this cool thing that's like, well, I'd like to be in this type of unit in that location, and I really want a beach house or something like that. And so as you're clicking on these things individually, this thing is dynamically updating, showing you, what's available given this criteria. That'd be pretty cool. So we're going to save this real quick. There we go. Just in case. Save. So this is kind of a nice start for a basic user interface within virtual reality. Gives me some ideas of where things could be laid out. Some other ideas I have regarding this. So say you nail down your criteria and it gives you your most up-to-date kind of map, right? So you have your that could become kind of like the main thing then, right? Here's your city map, and then it has all your different locations set up here. Well, then perhaps what you could do is by clicking on one, then over in this area, this new fresh space, it could bring up a specific listing. Or another idea might be that automatically you select like, okay, I'm ready to go on that previous screen, and then given these like 30 some odd listings, it brings you up this kind of paned window, and it could show you perhaps like 4 at a time. And maybe there could be, some text here of like basic pricing information. And if I wanted to scroll through, I could just kind of swipe through, similar to maybe how you would on an iPad, right? You just kind of slide it that way. So then say we get to a point where we're really feeling good about one particular listing. And maybe it blows it up a little bit and it gives us more specific details. Like, this is great. I really like this app. Here's how you message the landlord. Gives you some, of course, super important guarantee, like that little shield that shows up and you're like, oh, this must be a safe residence and I'm not going to get stabbed in my sleep. Important, right? At that point, it'd be great if the app were to then show you this, or maybe front and center. Go, right? Buy now. And you just feel really, really good about this decision. I mean, so good that you're just congratulated about it. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm to do this thing. Whoop, right? And then you go to start confirming your payments and then you solidify it from there. I think that could be a great start for a Verbo app. All right, so I think for next steps, now let's actually start throwing in some assets over this kind of general map and see what we can do with it to kind of spruce it up and make it a little more usable, right? Higher level prototype or wireframe.